Hello and welcome to that Peter Crouch podcast, the Friday edition of the podcast. Notorious SRD and Chris start with me. We've become accustomed to drinking cognac now.
That's a large one as well.
That is a large one, yeah.
Large and in charge.
But I don't know why we're doing it. We just all of a sudden started doing it.
Well,
It was one in the office.
Oh, one in the office, and
Been sent very kindly.
it's nice.
I really like it.
Nice.
It could get loose though by the end of the pod, is all I'm saying.
I never know where I'm at with these sort of drinks. I think
I know when I drink a pint, I know where I am. If I'm 3 or 4 in, I know that I'm a little bit looser than normal.
Yeah.
And 5 or 6 in, I'm making bad decisions. If I'm 7 or 8 in, I should be home.
All over. Yeah, a few of them, you could be in trouble.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
Go easy.
I feel like, I don't want to start things off on a negative route, especially with this sort of drinking going on, but we do have a few things to discuss this week. I'll kick things off just on a personal one here. Tom Cleverley's gone from Watford.
No. Yeah.
I know that you obviously were a big fan and you'll be literally disappointed.
Really disappointed. Really disappointed because I think sometimes, even if you haven't had great form, you look at the team and go, how much can you expect from that team? Like, what does a different manager do?
Yeah.
And also the other side of it for me goes, but even if the team aren't performing, but you've got a manager who, 1, clearly loves your club, 2, has players playing for him, or at least that's the perception I get from sort of watching them regularly. And 3, it's just a good PR thing for Watford, surely, to have a manager who was a club captain, a player that played for Watford, I think went back to United, obviously came back again. So I just don't really like this one in particular.
The mad thing is, you probably see this coming.
Yeah.
And most Watford fans see it coming. Or not. It's not a surprise to you, is it?
I don't like that feeling of, no, it's not really a shock. And all right, maybe it's a bit of a personal thing as well, just because, like when I was having a bit of I was going through this bit of a rough spell with my health, I get a message from him,
Blinding.
don't really talk about that sort of thing. Like, he's not done it to talk, but that's the character that you have managing the football team.
You'd rather that than someone who comes in and doesn't care.
Yeah.
I do care about where we are in the league, but we weren't relegated, we weren't promoted. We go again, and I understand it's not necessarily my money that's running the club, but I don't know. I just think when you get hold of a manager who clearly loves managing the club, there's got to be a value put on that isn't just about league form. And I don't speak for the football club, do I? So other fans probably disagree, but
No.
don't know. I just think I was just really sad to see that this week. However, flip side, what an exciting young manager for another club.
I was literally about to say that. He's probably learned so much in that short spell working at Watford, because it is chaotic.
Yeah.
Hopefully onwards and upwards, because another
will be
young
onwards and upwards. He's
aspiring
brilliant.
manager. Yeah.
He's brilliant. Do you guys know him? He's such a top
Yeah.
bloke.
He actually
What a top
spent
bloke.
some time at my place away in the summer. We had a nice time with him, a few drinks, and chatting to him about Watford. He was really passionate about it. Real shame.
Yeah.
But then you get that at this end of the season, you start to see some managers going. I thought it was interesting with Leeds, how the chairman almost put up a public statement just to say, I think he even used the phrase, he's my man. That's a funny one as well, isn't it? To almost have your job confirmed despite you winning the league and bringing your team up.
Mad that, isn't it?
Well, because there was rumblings about him being sacked.
Yeah.
Which
He's
is
just won the league.
Yeah.
The hell, the game's gone, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Surely
it's mad, isn't
you
it?
get your shot, don't you?
Yeah.
You'd
Yeah,
like
you
to think so.
Well, at the start, your remit is you have to get us up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's done that. And by champions, and then he's... Well, whether they're true, the rumours.
But that's just... But then
but still.
why does the owner have to come put... That was my perception of the statement, was almost like... Or maybe just... People are asking the questions. Maybe it was never a question the owner's mind, but he's having to answer the question because it comes from other people.
Yeah, I would
don't know.
suggest that's the case.
Yeah.
But do you think if you get your team promoted, you should be automatically entitled to how long in the Premier League? At least half a season?
I think it depends when you took charge. If you took charge at the beginning of the season and you'd done the whole lot and you'd got them over the line, then yes, definitely.
How long?
What, into the Premier League?
Yeah.
Halfway.
You'd like to be
Three quarters.
You'd like to be given a half a season. You'd like to be given half. You'd like to be given until the half season, the window.
You got to get half a season.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah.
Well, let me know. Obviously, with the Watford job, for instance, like I was managing this weekend with Ray Winston. We're a fantastic double act. If you need someone to come in there and manage Watford,
You're throwing your hat in the ring.
we could do it. Yeah. We've had one game and one loss to #United.
Was it #United you were doing it with?
Yeah. We got beat by #United Bishop Stortford on the weekend. For the Charlie Dukes Foundation, I'll give his foundation a shout.
Nice.
Air ambulance service.
Good turnout. Looked like it was
Good turnout. Yeah, some great people playing.
Yeah.
All for Steve Dukes, he was the kit man at Spurs.
Yeah.
So he was a top man, and is a top man. So obviously, lots of people turned out for him, which was great.
So what about other personal stuff then, I guess, from a Liverpool point of view? Trent, should we quickly discuss that?
Yeah, I mean the fallout is obviously going to be the fallout. I think he's kind of had the fallout before he even announced it, hasn't he? So he knew what was coming, and that would always be the case. I think from a Liverpool point of view, I think everyone else from outside Liverpool kind of wishes him well, really, don't they? But unfortunately, at Liverpool, they're not going to react to that well. They see it as Liverpool, especially if you're a local boy as well. It's like it's kind of every kid's dream from Liverpool to play for Liverpool. I know what you're saying, Sis, but that is how they see it. And it's it's not as if they're not winning.
That's it. I think that's the key point, is it? I think if they wasn't in a good place and he chose to go to Madrid, it might be a different story. But they are at the absolute top of their game, aren't they? And yeah, when they are winning, is there a better place to be at, club-wise than Liverpool in terms of their fans? You look at the way they're celebrating at the minute, and whether it's away at Chelsea on the weekend where they've lost or the home game. I just feel it's Real Madrid. It is Real Madrid, and when they come knocking, it is so hard to turn down. And you don't know personally whether you want to change from scenery or what he's given to that club
is on contracts or anything. I saw Jamie Carragher talking about the idea that growing up through that system, you can't be sure that Trent's perception of the deals that he was getting were the same as other players were getting because he'd come through that system, which I guess makes sense to an extent, because I guess like anything, if you've grown up through it, you're at the very least going to perceive, and it could well be true, you're going to perceive that you're treated differently to a shiny new player that's coming in and getting these deals. Yeah. Maybe just it is a shame from a Liverpool fan point of view that if there was a deal to be had at a time where he could be persuaded or excited and galvanised to re-sign, that it wasn't taken a little sooner.
Yeah.
But Real Madrid?
Yeah.
You've been there, you know the club, you know the culture.
Yeah. So I feel like I've got an understanding of of people from Liverpool and Liverpool fans. Yeah. And I think, it's quite hard, I think, for quite a lot of other football fans to understand. Yeah. Unless you're in that, if you understand it, which he will understand. Yeah. I think he'll know that he knows that backlash is coming. Yeah. Like he's not going into that naively.
The last few weeks. There is a different. It does feel different, and I do actually when Jamie Carragher said this as well, is that it's not for other people to tell Liverpool fans how they should feel. Yeah. I was a bit like, that's a slightly odd thing to say, but I do kind of get it from seeing the reaction of Liverpool fans. I do get it.
It's just, they're, for a local boy, I think it's seen as being the pinnacle. And I think they can't understand why you would want to leave that, especially when it's a club that's winning. And you think about like Steven Gerrard, for instance, right? When he was leaving to go to Chelsea, that team was we were miles off the Premier League title. But he still stayed loyal, so that will never be forgotten. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas this team have literally just won the Premier League, the best team in the country, and he still wants to go.
Where did you hear the news about Trent being confirmed? Just interested in this.
I was on the golf course.
Yeah,
with my son. He had his phone out. When I play golf, I have the phone in the bag, and he was like,
it's the worst Trent kept secret ever, though.
It was always going to happen. I just hope that there's a a glimmer of the Liverpool fans that acknowledge that he was in an era where, you know, they started that rise.
I hope so
That's
too
all it
as
is.
well. Yeah, I think
That's all it
after, you know, when everything dies down, you do hope, you know, we see some, you know, because he did produce some incredible moments.
He was the main part of it, wasn't he? It was like he was integral. Some of the performances.
Like, he was right there at the start as a young player, you know, when they started winning. So, yeah, shame, but it's football.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's always moving. With regards to the league this week, pretty mundane, really. We just ticked along, which is great for you two.
Yeah.
This is exactly what you need. You're just happy to tick along now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the business end of the season. We've all got 2 points. We all fancied Liverpool to win. I think, Chris, you were the nearest with a draw, but no one had Chelsea to beat Liverpool. And then we got the right results with Aston Villa Fulham. I was at the game. I went for a absolute 3-2 classic, which would have got me an extra point. Sid, you were close.
I had 2-0.
You had 2-0.
And he went through, didn't he, Marlon?
He did, yeah. He hit the bar.
Yeah.
Oh, I was fuming.
I was at the game.
I was fuming. See, it didn't seem like a great game, did it? I was watching it. It actually sent me to sleep, actually.
Yeah, it wasn't a great game. I
drifted off. I did.
It wasn't a great game.
I'll tell you what was unbelievable. I think you said on last Friday's podcast, potentially, unless I'm making up things in my head, which is possible, that you had passed the pod to Unai Emery.
Oh, yes.
My God, I've seen the video. You've done it in some style there.
Yeah, unbelievable scenes, wasn't it?
I mean, just talk me through that.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, like I said, I went up to see Paco and I was chatting to him. Obviously, he was the assistant at Liverpool. Chatting to him, and then I've just got I just saw through the window of the door and he said, come in, Unai Emery. And he's in there, which was, I think, was his translator, I think. Someone who kind of gets him used to, you know, probably our way of speaking. Yeah. And he's watching the podcast on a So he's preparing for Fulham on one computer and preparing for the interview with me on another by watching this podcast.
Just
so
watching.
Unai, if you are listening, I had a great day. Thanks for being so welcoming. Because I made him subscribe.
I assume he's watching because you did say to him, hit the button.
Hit the button, mate. Make sure you subscribe.
This is wild. This is really meta. This is Gogglebox levels of. We're chatting to Unai Emery right now as he watches us, watching him, watching us,
yeah,
and so on.
What did you think of that? What did you make of it? Because like on that little piece, you were very prominent.
Mate,
in that picture.
What concerned me is the podcast he's watching. We were doing the predictions and I went for a missionary Villa win. And I can only assume that, because he seems to me anyway to be the king of analysis. He's someone clearly very thorough in his job. And as he was saying, before meeting you, he wanted to understand what your podcast is and all of that. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I had a great day up at Villa,
Scares me
though.
what he saw on there. Really
It scared me a little
I
bit.
don't think he understood probably half of it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Then
Then,
what makes me laugh is that he had someone with him that I reckon he would have gone, so what is full missionary?
And maybe then
say,
a tactical discussion.
Yeah, like he was probably thinking it was a tactic.
every chance.
But you know, he would have had to explain, that guy.
But a small insight into his character, that if he's going to prepare for meeting you by watching YouTube videos of the podcast,
can you imagine what he's preparing?
Imagine what he's like with a football match.
Imagine. No, he's honestly, the attention to detail and the passion that he shows for football, just chatting even off camera, he didn't want to stop talking. It was brilliant. It was so amazing to be around him and like so infectious. I absolutely loved him as a person. Like just, you know, someone who just radiates like passion for the game. Oh, I was really interested in chatting with him and great to be around the training ground.
Yeah. Well, they're going for Europe, aren't they? But Forest having a bit of a stumble now, aren't
Wheels
they?
are off.
Oh,
I'm worried for them. It's just that they've been in the top four all season, you know. I just come out of it now, right at the tail end of it.
A victim of their own success, and they just think they've been
really
up there.
Reminds me of me in this Friday league, really. You know, just class all year, you know what I mean? Just dropped out at the wrong time. So much talent and tactical awareness.
On a serious note, are you a little bit worried?
Fucking shitting myself, Sid. Feel like I'm going to be jumping out of a plane in a pair of Speedos or something. I don't know. singing in a dress or something. I don't know. There's lots of shouts gone round. And
Mate, the gap's too narrow. You're one correct result
think he
away.
is, yeah.
It's not.
can you imagine the scenes?
Imagine last day of the season.
Can you imagine the scenes though?
Well, I do think we should consider watching it together. We'll have to see if diaries work and all that. Another thing from this week just popped into my head that I just briefly wanted to highlight as well, because I thought it was kind of shithousery, but it was more funny than anything. Did you see the Jamie Vardy thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the ref rolling on the ground,
Yeah.
he's injured, but he's still holding the whistle in his hand, and Vardy manages to get his hand and blow the whistle to stop the play.
Yeah.
Funny,
Brilliant.
but also tactically kind of brilliant,
Genius.
right?
Genius. Class, isn't it?
And has anyone ever done that to stop a breakaway?
I remember Gaza booking someone, didn't he? And then he got booked himself for doing it.
He didn't get cautioned, did he, Jamie Vardy, on that?
I don't think so.
Because surely he should have been. He stopped the play. You can't play. I can't just stop. That's like a player. That's like a player just picking the ball up.
referee's whistle.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
That's brilliant. And if you had to pick one player,
Yeah.
if you said if there could be one player in the Premier League that was going to do this, it'd be in your top 5.
He
wouldn't
would
it?
100% be him.
Top
But also,
three.
to be fair to him, the ref's gone down. The other team's breaking. Like, it's actually genius what he's done there,
yeah.
and got away with it.
Yeah.
And I don't like. There's a rule book somewhere with every minor rule. Surely, in a world of VAR, like surely he's broken some sort of rule.
Yeah.
There must be a rule where you can't blow the referee's whistle.
And it's not there now. Needs to
Yeah.
be, doesn't there?
Well, yeah.
The Jamie Vardy rule.
Also, congratulations to Harry Kane for
Yes.
winning the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Pleased for him.
Yeah.
We know him. Great guy.
Yeah.
Fantastic professional and amazing player. Fully deserves to win a hell of a lot more than he has so far. So I'm glad he's got that one under his belt.
Looked like they enjoyed them celebrations as well.
They did,
Going
yeah,
into
of
the
course.
night. Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
That's good.
Do you know what I really want to do? I want to do an Oktoberfest. So if this pod
Yeah.
can make an Oktoberfest happen for us.
we said about
think we
doing
have
it
to
with a
pace
German
ourselves,
player, Schweinsteiger.
Yeah, we'll just go and interview like Schweinsteiger or Muller or something. And or Harry. And we'll just smash Steins down and pretend it's at work.
Thing is, we've got to organise this before October, which is traditionally when we say this idea.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years of saying we should do Oktoberfest just as Oktoberfest is finishing.
Yeah, usually we say that.
We had a similar thing with Crufts, and then we just gave up on that.
Yeah,
after
we
a while.
gave up on Crufts. Yeah.
I think the best way to do it would be if we can, let's try and take an experienced player, okay, like Diddy or someone, a man, that would knows the ropes.
Did he know he's Munich? Like, well, he's a Munich man.
There we go. So someone that can take us and just show us the nooks, the crannies,
Where
the
to be.
places where people don't know, and then we can see some people out there.
Can you imagine us in Lederhosen?
You've had the gear. Have you had the full gear on before?
I've had it on
seen
before,
you
yes.
before. Yeah, I have seen.
I've had it on before.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you worn them before?
It's weirdly, I do associate it with you.
Do you?
So I'm not sure why. Recently, I don't think I've ever done it.
I haven't done it.
I'm normally just more of a nun guy myself.
We could go as nuns.
No, we'd do Leverkusen.
Buy a Leverkusen.
Lederhosen, sorry. The cognacs.
Cognac slipping in now, isn't it?
Why did I say Lederkusen?
She said Leverkusen.
Did I say Leverkusen?
Yeah. And you're up early and you're down in cognacs. Should we move on, guys?
Let's do
this
it.
week is big for me. I need to pull this back. This next part of the podcast is supported by Paddy Power. The big weekend fixture is a good fixture. This one. It's big in the hunt for the top 5. It's Newcastle versus Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chelsea in the ascendancy now, you would say. Brilliant result against Liverpool. Newcastle are favourites, Sids. They're evens. 10 against you, 20 back. Chelsea 11-5. So you would suggest Newcastle strong favourites. A repeat of last meeting will be 11-1. That's 2-0 to Newcastle, which isn't a bad shout. You're scrambling around here, Chris, for results by the looks of it.
I am, yes. I'm just looking
This
at...
is a tough one. Tough one. Look at this. Last 5 Prem meetings, 2 wins for Newcastle, 2 for Chelsea, 1 draw. This game will be played on Sunday because Chelsea have played by the time of this recording last night in Europe. And do you know what I like about this? This is for Champions League. as well.
Yeah.
So everyone talk about Chelsea's back end of the season, which is tough. They've got Newcastle, Man United,
What start to that though?
and Forest as well. By the way.
But they could have played like both. They played Newcastle and Forest. Forest last day of the season.
Yeah.
That could be the game
Yeah.
that determines who gets in there.
But it's in their hands.
Exactly.
You'd rather be in your own hands than worry
100%.
about it. The results of like,
Totally
elsewhere.
agree. Cole Palmer looks. Nicholas Jackson's back amongst the goals.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer looks sharp. Didn't the other day?
Yeah.
Great to get Alfie's back. Scoring a penalty.
Yeah. Chelsea going to, as you say, in good form. But Newcastle are at home and they are good at home.
The
They
false
are very
two
good
looks
at home.
brilliant as well at the moment. Can I say though?
We got it in, didn't we? Me and Joe Cole.
Yeah, I did.
We got it
heard,
again.
You've
I've
done
heard
one as well.
Since
Yeah.
it's done one.
Me and
I
Joe
didn't
Cole.
know.
It was brilliant. Yeah. Yeah.
We
it
should
was
have had
class.
we need the clip of it.
Yeah. We'll get him to
get that
to
clip.
peg it up.
Preemptive or in the moment?
Mine was in the moment.
Yeah, nice.
And then Joe followed suit on the next one.
So he knows as well.
He
does
knows now.
knows what's going
He
on.
knows.
But friend of the pod, isn't he?
Yeah.
But
Joe Cole.
this is established.
Yeah.
You've done it. You boys have done it. Now it's in.
It's
Fully in.
a false two. The false two has been, Zinchenko. I remember being one of the first I've sort of really doing it. Like Philip Lahm, he used to do it, didn't he?
Imagine we spot someone saying it in the wild. That's the dream.
Yeah, that's the
isn't
dream
it?
there. That's the dream.
A couple of shout outs here. As always, whacked it on Instagram. Hello, Matt Hill, Tom Paul, Alex, Matty, Ryan Hansen, Sam Addison, Matthews Maidens. That's a good one.
Is that a website?
Sounds like Charlie's Angels, doesn't it? Ben Taunton, James Clemens, Reed Whiteman. Should we go with Matthew Maidens for his results? I'll say he thinks this will be a draw.
Oh, what draw?
2-2.
Is it a horny one?
I had a
the horny
Desmond.
one, did you? Oof.
There's average of over 3 goals per game in the last 5 meetings between these clubs in the Premier League. If that doesn't sway your prediction, I don't know what will.
Right.
Who's going first?
Go.
It begins. Who wants this one then?
Feels really tense in here. You can cut the tension with a knife.
You want the Desmond?
No, you go. You go first.
Do you want Desmond?
You can have the Desmond. If you
I'm
want.
not bothered about going first on this one.
No.
No.
Oh, you want to go first on the next one?
Or another one.
All right. I'll go first.
Go on.
I'll go for Desmond.
So you going 2-2?
I'm going to go 2-2.
Wowza.
I'll go missionary then. On the side of Newcastle.
Okay.
Newcastle 2,
I'm
Chelsea 1.
going to see your missionary.
Reverse.
Reverse
missionary. Now that is exciting.
That's doggy, isn't it?
Whoa.
I'm sure reverse missionary's doggy.
And doggy. Right.
Chelsea 2-1. Boom.
Chelsea 2-1.
Yes.
2-2. 2-1 Newcastle.
Yes,
Chris.
2-1 Newcastle.
yes,
Oh,
I love it. I
brilliant.
absolutely love
Brilliant.
it. The integrity of the Friday podcast is alive and well. Okay, don't forget we got the Paddy's Boost. We each pick a leg of the Crouch Pod Bet Builder. The odds on that Bet Builder will then be boosted by 20%. It'll be put on the specials section of the website or app on the Paddy Power website. It's player to be carded. I'm going to go for Bruno Guimaraes.
Oh, nice. Let's go. Player to score or assist has to be the man, isn't it? Isaac at the minute.
All right.
Lovely.
Player to be fouled 1+ times. Let's go Cole Palmer.
Odds are correct at the time of recording. Please gamble responsibly. Moving on to Ipswich versus Brentford. Ipswich find themselves in a precarious position at the end of the season. 22 points from 35 games. They're firmly entrenched in the relegation zone. I don't think anyone sees them getting out of it, do they? No. It's game over. The record of 4 wins, 10 draws and 21 defeats is a grim picture of the Premier League campaign, I would suggest. But Brentford's form has been impressive.
Yeah.
They've won 3 and drew 2 in the last 5 across some competitions. I don't know if that sways your judgment at all. Ipswich as well, it feels like they're a little bit free of kind of like they're not really, they've gone down, haven't they? Let's be honest. It's not mathematically correct.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to, what's it now? They must have This can't be their last home game of the season. They must have one this and one other. So they They're going to want to go out on a high.
You can get strange results at this time of the season.
Yeah.
You know, like when people are down and like, for instance, Chelsea, Liverpool, you wouldn't have. They've lost
chance.
one game all season.
No chance. No.
Liverpool.
Do you know what? I think I found it. Brentford have been my most difficult team to predict this season. Whenever we've done predictions, whether they've been home or away, you don't know what one is going to turn up.
Would you like to go for it, Sid?
No, I went for Dixon last time, didn't I? Dixon a 2, 2, didn't I?
2-2.
So I'll let you boys go first.
You go, mate.
All right, I'm going to go with a 1-0 Ipswich win.
Oh, that's massive.
That's huge.
You see, that is massive, isn't it? Because everything about this should be that that's not the case. But I sort of feel that in my bones that it could be that.
So you're going to go for a
Brentford 3, Ipswich 0.
Have you gone 3-0 Brentford?
Easy pitch. Wow.
3-0 Brentford.
Wow.
Wow. I actually believed that bollocks before as well.
See, should I go for the draw?
Fucking hell, it's cat amongst the pigeons time here. I reckon I'm either doing a forfeit this week or out of it.
See, I do fancy Brentford, and I don't normally go for one team not to score, but I am going to go for a 1-0 Brentford.
Oh, for God's sake, this is sad.
I was going to go for a 1-1 draw, but I think Brentford will squeeze it.
Let me just tell you, there's no greater show on earth than the Friday podcast league.
That's an unusual situation. You've done 1-0 and I've gone 3 though. To leave 2-0 vacant like that.
I don't know where you've seen. I don't know where you've seen.
To close the barn door then.
I don't know where you've seen.
It's an outrage. No, you're locked in. You've dinged that. That thing went off.
Yeah, I don't know where you're seeing 3 there.
That thing went off.
Chance.
No chance. You can't say he's got no chance.
Whoever predicted that, they unfollow them. Unfollow.
It was Matthews Maidens.
Fucking Matthews Maidens, mate. He's too busy with his maidens. All right, let's move on quickly because he's got 3-0. Wolves Wolves beat Brighton. Here we go. Massive upturn in form from Wolves. Unbelievable, really.
Yeah.
Finding their rhythm, would you say, Sid?
Yeah, at the right time, is it? In the season, where can they finish now? Probably top it, like middle, halfway mark.
Like they've cruised it really. It was a narrow 1-0 defeat against City, wasn't it? Respectable result, you'd say.
Yeah,
Pereira's done a great job.
Brilliant. Yeah, he has. I love him in the boozer as well, having a pint with the fans.
Yeah,
that is great. That is really, really good.
Man of the people. He's not sitting there with a cognac, is he?
Yeah. I don't know. Let me have a swig of this cognac before.
I feel like, you know, when you're in one of those films, they just pour one out.
I feel like we're in the Peaky Blinders. This is like.
Do you know what I always wonder with drinks like this is, you know, when you watch James Bond and they always pour one out at every meeting.
Every time.
I think, like, do you not have to drive home or anything? It's always with government.
They're always like in offices, like,
and there's always a bottle on a little tray sort of thing,
and
a couple of glasses. I always think, do you not have a home to get to or like a wife?
Well, you know what? We've just decanted one in the office.
Decanted? What?
We have. But have you ever gone to a meeting where they've whipped out the cognac as a bottle?
Never in my life. That's never happened. Never in my life.
But always in the movies or TV shows. If it's a high-powered meeting, they pour out one, and often it goes pretty quickly as well.
Yeah, and they bang them down like water, don't they?
Yeah.
Anyway, Wolves Brighton.
This is huge for Brighton. This is huge because they'd be disappointed with the weekend. Newcastle scoring that equaliser because they're fighting for Europe. They're trying to get a spot for Europe. Wolves away. It's pretty tricky. That's pretty tricky. This has got every chance of being a draw. But I'm going to back the Seagulls. I think they're going to go up to the Wolves and they're going to peck them to death.
Yeah,
I want to go for
A seagull.
Wolves.
What would win in a fight? One wolf or 100 seagulls?
100 seagulls all day. 100 Stevens.
100 seagulls would beat a wolf.
Stevens.
Do you think 100 seagulls would beat a wolf?
100 Stevens all day. 1,000,000%. They just you can just fly off. If the wolf gets a bit snappy, they just fly away. Then just come back and peck him. Imagine getting pecked by 100 little animals for 16 hours a day. By the end of it, you just go, fuck this, and you'd keel over.
Them seagulls are big. Have you been down to Brighton Pier recently?
Yeah, seriously. And also, the wolf might get one seagull in its jaws.
Yeah.
And it's gone. So you've got 99 other peckers.
Yeah.
No
one can handle that.
No.
Wow.
All right, I'm going to go for Brighton 2-1 off the back of that. I'm going to back the boys. Brighton 2-1 away win.
2 words from me from this one. Horny draw. 1-1.
Well, that makes me want to back Wolves. And I'm going to.
Wow.
I'm going to go with Wolves 2-1.
I do worry the cognac's gone to people's heads.
We shouldn't do this league on the cognac because I'm going to regret this throughout the weekend.
But that said, ordinarily our predictions sort of yield no points. So actually, one of us is going to win big this weekend, I think.
Yeah.
One of us is crying. One of us is learning. What's that from? Mamma Mia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
All right, lads, I'm going to do a few messages.
Cool.
Regards to your families and good luck for the weekend, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, lads. As it is coming up to the end of the season, just wanted to share how we are doing in our group at work. This is one of the most important topics weekly within our group chat, with 14 players all playing for a £280 prize. This is how close it is at the top of the league with 3 weeks to go. I run the group and I'm currently top. Some people say it's a fix, but I won last year as well. I've got an idea for you, lads. On the last day of the season, to make it more interesting, we are doing all 10 fixtures on the 25th of May. So it's all to play for, even if I take a good lead into the last day of the season. Other lads are hoping to come back stronger, but I'm hoping to take the crown for a second season and scoop the £280 prize. Otherwise, I have to find this money to pay out to the winner. Oh my God, he's not even kept it. He's already spent the money.
Yeah. Shelled out.
Oh my God. That's from Lee.
Yeah.
I'm all for doing all the games on the last day of the season, obviously, because I'm bottom of the league. I don't know how you boys feel about that.
Yeah, I'm up for that. You've just given me... I was just thinking with this, though, with these group things, it's not just about the money, is it? It's about the reputation and... the power, the respect you get from your friends. I was just thinking with our league, we've been thinking about the forfeits. Maybe we've been thinking about these forfeits wrong. Maybe we've been going from, we've done like the cheerleaders and stuff like that. Maybe the forfeit needs to be something like, maybe we need to come at it from a different angle, something which shows real respect to the winner. Like, for example, whoever, let's say you both lose, you've got to rename your houses to something I choose, or after me. Do you know what I mean? My name. Or a statue of me gets put up in your driveway.
That is actually it's a great shout.
And vice versa. And do you know what I mean? Maybe there's a different angle with the forfeit.
Right. Okay, so you could have a statue put up on the driveway to
show respect to the other player or players. It's an interesting idea.
I like that.
Okay, yeah.
I like it a lot, yeah. It's the winner gets something.
Yeah.
We'll totally get that.
But fair play. I mean, £280 is not to be sniffed at at all. It's a good luck, Lee.
Sorry, just on that, what are we... I mean, I know we've had a few tipples, but what are we saying on the last day of the season? Are we going to do the whole 10
Do we want to do the whole
fixture
list?
Because that is a game changer. Anything could happen on there. It doesn't matter how many points whoever's in front or behind.
I think
that's a bit much.
I agree. Even though I'm bottom, feel like it calls into question the
integrity
of the league.
Yeah.
I think we could raise it to 4 or 5.
Right, well, let's keep it at 3. And if you want to up it to 4 or 5, then we'll see.
All right, well, let's see what happens this week.
Okay.
Okay, Crouchy, Sids and Starkey, just a few thoughts regarding the pod from a couple of weeks ago when Starkey was living the best life, full of the Martin Keoghs.
Oh, yeah.
On your way, wasn't it?
I was in Cyprus.
Cyprus, yeah, on the Keoghs. First of which being what an absolute sterling job Starkey's other half did of reading out the predictions. As you mentioned in the pod, it sounded just like the video printer rolled, which got me thinking to add a little spice to what is now the business end of the league. How about rather than discussing your predictions on the pod, you each submit your score to Starkey's missus?
This is actually amazing.
And have her read them out on the podcast.
Yeah.
This gives the added jeopardy of nobody knowing each other's scores until they are locked in. Just a quick one on this. The only thing is, she's very close to Chris. And I just think if I give her the score, like it's the integrity, your missus for me has incredible integrity every time I meet her. But is she more concerned about how well Chris does than us?
I also think, with all due respect to you and your families, I would. I don't really want to open up back channels to my wife.
Back channels to wives should always be closed, Chris.
I just think, you're two footballers, and it's my rule of thumb is.
I see. I'm so glad I'm not the only one that is agreeing that she read them out really well.
She does read them
great.
very well.
It was amazing.
Listen, I passed on the feedback and everyone's feedback who's messaged in. She was just frankly thrilled to hear.
Yeah,
but you are quickly squashing the idea as well.
It's a massive compliment. But we'll move on. Anyway, secondly, he says, regards to the message from the lad whose wife's sister has got a new fella. He needed advice on how to assert his dominance as the alpha male. Got some fucking sick obsession with other people's wives as well. Unbelievable. You three suggested to ensure he is the one who drives everywhere. As we know from Vanarama, only the big dog gets the driver's seat. I, however, would like to suggest it is in fact the opposite. Make the new guy drive everywhere. This way, it's like your own personal chauffeur. And more importantly, whatever the destination is, whether it be for a meal or the footy, the new guy is stuck as a designated driver, whereas you're free to enjoy a few beverages. Regardless of the family, Matt makes a great point on both, actually.
Yeah.
Just make a good point. I think that only works, though, if you're not in a... Because I can't quite remember their car or van situation. I can't remember if it was 3 along the side. But I think if your friend it does feel like they're taking advantage a bit, have him drive, but you both sit in the back to reinforce the chauffeur thing.
Oh, right.
And then he'll never know what's going on behind. He'll be trying to check the rear view like that. But,
Nicely done. I actually saw something today that I meant to raise. You've literally just brought it to my attention again. I saw a van, and I don't know if it's a new van or it's a different type of van that I've seen before. It's 3 in the middle, right? But there's a row behind. Have you seen a row behind you?
bloody hell, terrace seats.
New van situation.
What? There's 2 rows of 3.
It's kind of 2 rows, yeah. I couldn't believe it. And I saw a fella behind the driver's seat in what looked like a double Vanarama situation. He cracked a window and had a Benson out the window.
What, he's behind the driver?
He's behind the driver, right? So I've pulled up at the lights and I've seen a window cracked and I thought, I can see both his arms on the wheel. Has he done that? The window has come forward and I've just seen a fella just lean out with a ciggy. Could not believe my eyes.
I have not seen that.
Double Vanarama situation. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, in the Vanarama game,
that's mad.
Can we get a 6? Can you get a 6 ball together and discuss who would be middle back? Who would be the smoker out the side? Unbelievable.
What is this van, though? I've never heard.
Can't believe it.
I've never heard
it. Looked like a transit to me. Looked like a regular transit with it had another window and then a real kind of metal situation at the back.
Feels like a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like such a rare event, like a double yoke. You know, when you crack an egg.
Yeah. Unbelievable it was. All right, well, listen, lads, it's been a great day.
I've had as you can see, I've had a great time.
You had a great time, yeah.
It's been great.
Cognac Fridays.
Cognac Fridays. And then I don't think there's many weeks left before we're out of Friday league and stuff.
It's going to be a
getting
shame.
exciting now, but it will be a shame when that finishes.
Have a little break, and we can still carry on Cognac Fridays if you want.
Yeah.
All welcome round mine. All right.
Jump one with everyone.
Regards to your families.
Regards. Kind regards.